bad text or something.
No.
Yeah, so it was National Tequila Day. We had a great time. I literally hopped into bed at like 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, why the fuck is there so much blood on my foot? I was like, what the fuck happened? Like little period that I blacked out. I was like, what the hell happened? Literally, like half of my big toe, big toenail just came off. Like there was blood all over my toe. I was like, okay, first of all, that would have hurt like a bitch. So like, thank God I didn't feel any of it. But like, oh my God.
How's your toenail now?
It's still half there. That was only a week ago.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it was last Friday.
Last Friday.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
My listening comprehension is messed up right now.
National Tequila Day.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you drink tequila. I'm telling you, it's the devil.
I'm a big tequila girl. I always drink tequila. But yeah, that night we bought 2 gallons. It was only 4 of us. We bought 2 gallons of margarita from a bar near us.
Tell the lady we're live again. Stop playing.
Yeah, we're live now.
Oh.
No, but yeah, my drunk, like I said, that my first fight out the way. Hopefully not anymore, because you don't know out in the streets.
Especially here in Jax.
Especially Jax. Like,
Anywhere. I would be so scared. I'm not a big. I don't know. I get worried for people when they're in fights.
I mean, it was, like I said, I'm glad I got out the way. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, because I could have been shot. And well, that's just
I know.
It's a reality.
You don't live here, but
That's so scary. Okay, I know, but like I know how it is in Brazil. Are you kidding? Miami?
Oh, Brazil's.
Miami.
Brazil's nasty.
Brazil, okay. Depends on where you go.
Favelas, right? Isn't that where like the worst part?
Okay, but you don't go to favelas unless you're in the favela. Like, don't do that. Hello.
But so I don't know if you don't know, because you're not I'm pretty sure you don't see Jacksonville news. But 2 weeks ago, in the West Side, it's not here.
Right?
Huh?
23 shooting?
Well, I was gonna reference one specifically. On the West Side, you never been to the West Side, so that's good. But on the West Side, there was like these women were arguing in a Wawa, and someone got spit at. The person that got spit at, she came out and got her gun from her, and she shot the woman that spit on her when she came outside, and she died.
That's why you gotta watch out for people, man.
That's why
some people are literally just looking to cap somebody.
I know. That's why I just. I stay myself.
But listen, I'm glad I got that out of the way. It could turn out worse than it could have. It turned out worse. It could have turned out worse than it did. It did? Thank you. You complete my sentences like that. But yeah. Also, just so you guys are aware, this is a second attempt. We did have a audio difficulty. I'm sorry, we're a little rusty.
It wouldn't be ignorance bliss without some sort of
It wouldn't
technical
be
issue.
ignorance bliss without any kind of difficulty, especially audio, because we did skip audio for a minute. We were running with 2 mics for a while. We had like 4 people on. We had 2 mics.
It
we were
was
like passing the mic around.
It was annoying, to be honest.
But yeah, so we did miss 10 minutes of content, but it's just 10 minutes. You can't really get that back, but it's 10 minutes. Just quickly, if you want, introduce yourself again, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Pretend like I don't know you,
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Basello. I am going into my 4th year at the University of Florida, full-time student. I'm on the pre-med track. I'm a biology and nutritional sciences double major with a minor in business administration. I'm very involved, very into medicine, very just all over the place, big into gym, big into all that stuff. So yeah, that's like a little short recap.
I wanted to ask you, so where did that come from? When did you decide that you wanted to go into medicine? And did that come from the gym?
So, did that come from the gym?
Yeah.
No, actually I only started working out at the gym like a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah. But medicine, so growing up, I was really into dolphins, so I was like, I'm gonna be a dolphin trainer. That didn't happen. And then a good period of time, I wanted to be an elasmobranchiologist, which is someone who studies sharks. And I was like, I'm gonna be head of Shark Week one day. Like, I was so excited. And my family was like big into doing cruises then. So I swam with sharks in 3 different countries. Like, I was so excited. I love sharks. So that lasted for most of like middle school and early high school. And then it was really just until I started learning about the human anatomy and like taking anatomy and physiology dual enrollment, because like I would take classes at Broward College while I was in high school. And that's when, that's when I was like, the human body is freaking amazing. Like, it can do anything. Like, the way it works is just like beyond my imagination. Like, so cool. So I was like, I just want to learn about this for the rest of my life. So I just got more into it. I shadowed many specialties over the years. Got to know many different surgeons, many doctors, kind of saw different things, more of like the general things, and went from there.
Yeah, the human body is super interesting, like even down to the biomolecular level. Cause
Amazing.
yeah, I bought a book on anatomy. It's an anatomy and physiology book. To be honest, I haven't read much of it, but it's crazy. And I listened to this guy on YouTube. He goes down deep to the science of like the body and how everything works, especially nutrition wise. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. First of all, how can you pronounce some of these words? I'm like, you're spitting basically when you're going off on some of these medical terms. I'm like,
a lot of it makes sense though. I took like a medical terminology class, and if you learn like parts of the words and their like significance and the meaning for it, like every word actually just makes sense for its function. You know what I mean? So once you know that, it's not as hard. You hear this whole like big long word, and I hear it and I can break down. Oh, that means this. But for someone who doesn't hear it, it's just like a big chunk of letters.
Right.
All right. Well, do me a favor then and break down the mitochondria. Mighty mitochondria.
Mitochondria, the word?
Yes.
I don't know. All I remember is mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I'm thinking of more like, I'm trying to think. More like bones, muscles, anatomy, like people think of, what's a good one? I'm trying to think.
Can you tell me?
The muscle here, it's it's connected to your clavicle.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna just misinform people on the podcast. I don't remember. But it's attached to 3 different bones, and if you know the bones' names, it takes a chunk of like each bone's name into the muscle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it just sounds like this weird word. But everything makes sense. Once you study it, everything makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like some people will tell me, oh, I have this sort of condition. And I'm like, okay, I've never heard of it, but what I can pick up from it is it has something to do with this and this.
Got it, yeah. No, that makes sense. That's pretty
But
cool.
mitochondria, I don't think you can break down.
Well, that's because like it's a cell, right?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a part of the cell.
Part of the cell,
But
yeah.
it's just one of those words that it's just like,
It is
boom,
what it is.
there,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's not like, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. But, so also kind of to recap the 10 minutes that we lost for the audio technicals.
Technical difficulties.
Spoon.
Yeah.
Yes. You kind of said that you have about like 10 years left for your schooling.
15?
15? 15 years
It's
left?
like 13, yeah.
To finally essentially be done with all your schooling. Now, does that ever like worry you about? Oh, so also I want to kind of break down the reason why I brought you here. Our goal was so you can kind of get that perspective of a full-time college student. Because like I said earlier, we have a lot of people that are our age and they're like, for lack of better terms, like they're at school, it's a ripoff, you don't need school, blah blah. And we just want to get that perspective that if you go into the right field, you definitely can make a pretty good living. Because easily it's like 6-figure position, right? The way you're going for.
I think
Well
minimum,
over.
right?
No, I think like probably for cardiology it would be like maybe minimum like 300,000 starting. The pediatric cardiac surgeon that I'm really close with, I shadow at Shands, he's one of the best in the nation. He makes over $1 million a year. Like he's top notch.
He's that
But
guy?
most of the other ones make, I'd say maybe like 400 or 500,000 a year.
That's nothing to loft. Like that's nothing to loft at. That's pretty good money, I think. Pretty good money, yeah. So, do you think? But ultimately, do you think it's worth it for that whole, in total, almost 20 years of schooling, for that kind of? You think so?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you love it, yes. I get that question a lot. People are like, oh, if you just won the lottery, like, what would you do? I was like, I don't think my life would change too much. Like, I would still go to med school. I would still whatever. Let's say I married like a billionaire. Like, I would still want to go down that route. Even let's say it was like a not minimum wage, but like a not as great paying job as it will be. I would still do it. Like, I can't see myself doing anything else. And I like to work. Like, I do not want to be a stay-at-home mom. If my husband wants to be a stay-at-home father, awesome. Me, no, I'd rather work. So
I think you're going to make it, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of people, when they go into school, whatever field that they're going to, they're looking, typically a lot of people are looking at the dollar amount, and somebody who's looking at the dollar amount and they're going to work, or they're going to school for whatever kind of medicine, because I feel like a lot of medicine, takes time, it takes time and effort.
Very much so.
A lot of people don't end up making it through that, just because they genuinely don't like it, like you genuinely like it.
I feel like a good chunk do, it's just, they're miserable.
Right.
It's demanding.
Well,
it's
that's not
hard.
making it. For me, that's not making it.
Okay.
Because if you're
Well,
miserable,
yeah.
doing something you don't like, you're not making it.
Exactly. No, and that's the unfortunate reality of it.
So, like I said, you're gonna make it 15 years, 13 years.
I got it. I'm not stressing it. I'm not in a rush. I'm really not. I'm excited. People think I'm crazy. I can literally, the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, just be studying all day. And, in the middle of the day, I usually just, pause and I'm like, wow, I'm just so fortunate to, be able to study. And, I look around, at UF, all the students are basically, crackheads. You can be at the library at, 4 in the morning, and it's still packed. People do not sleep. People do not stop learning. But I love that environment. I just, stop and look around, and it's, everyone's just absorbing so much knowledge. It's crazy to me. It's so cool. So, I enjoy learning. I'm going to take my time with it and do what I got to do. Make sure I get to where I want to get to.
So how much free time would you say you have for yourself a week?
It varies a lot. During COVID, I've actually had a great deal of free time. And right now, we just started being able to do research again at the hospital and all that stuff. But I was working at the school. Obviously, the school is closed. I don't have the job there anymore, and classes are online, so I have a great deal of flexibility. So it's definitely different. During the school year, it was a little bit harder. I have my week planned out by every 15 minutes. Sounds crazy, but I need to plan when I'm gonna eat, when I'm gonna do that stuff, or else I just don't do. I literally have to plan out my time for the gym, and it's this is the time I cut out in the week to go to the gym, so I have to go. There's nothing else I need to do. This is what I'm focusing on right now, and take things day by day. But honestly, I do have a great deal of free time. I can move it around. Thankfully, the research project I'm in, it's kind of just at my own pace. So, I don't have to go in this week, or I can go next week. Obviously I want to be published in a medical journal before I graduate, and that's the path we're getting to. But again, it's kind of just whenever I can. So if I don't go one day, I don't feel too bad about it. I'll get it done. I can make up for it another day. But it allows me to oh, it's my friend's birthday tonight. Okay, we're gonna do that. It's not I'm a miserable student who doesn't have any life outside of that, because I do, and that's something I actually get a lot on Instagram, where people are how the heck are you on the pre-med track, going to the gym, staying fit, trying to get into modeling, all this stuff that I'm doing. It's just I don't know, research, volunteering, all that stuff. It's just a part of my day.
Right, and
just
that's the reason why I asked. It's what kind of social life do you have if you have so much stuff on your plate?
I feel I have a pretty decent social life, if I'm being honest. Okay, I'm not crazy. I feel I am an old soul, where it's I do to stay home, or if I go out 3 nights in a row, I'm dead. I do not have the energy to even put an ounce of makeup on my face. That just alone is so time consuming. But I would say,
I don't think you need it, by the way.
Thank you. It looks so gross. But I would say during the normal week, I'll probably go out once or twice a week. It's not that bad. Latin nights, always a must. Ladies' nights, always a must. We have such a good time. Every time people don't see me and I go ghost for a long time, people are the only place you're gonna find Vic. Because libraries, there's so many different libraries, so it's you're not gonna find me at a certain one. But the only place you're gonna find Vic is at White Buffalo on Latin nights. If I'm missing, that's where I'll be. But yeah, I feel I have a pretty decent social life, and I am in a sorority too. I don't dedicate as much time to it as I should, just because of everything else I'm doing. But we still always have formals and socials and events like that. So. Yeah.
And what does it mean getting published? Because you didn't mention that. What is it? Title and all that.
So, it looks really good for med school. Basically, a lot of med students do research. It's not required, but it kind of is at this point. So an unspoken, requirement at this point that you have some sort of research experience. But basically just getting published is if our experiment proves to work or has, a great deal of evidence to back it up, we just write like a whole medical journal on it and submit it. And so like if you go to like, I don't know if you guys ever know like PubMed or like even Google Scholar and like you find like scholarly articles, it'll be like something that'll pop up and my name will be like as one of the authors or people in the experiment.
Okay.
It's kind of like in addition to your resume type.
Yeah.
Got okay, that makes sense.
It's literally just like making a book kind of on an experiment and just, you know, relaying all that information to people.
Yeah. And you said like it's an unwritten like requirement because
98% of medical students have that sort of experience.
So like if you don't have it, like yo, what's wrong with you? Like why?
It's
why don't you not? Why not?
Yeah, not so much that's like what's wrong with you? That's mean. But like as a med school student, you know, it's not just you're getting great grades. That does not cut it at all. Like you need volunteer, you need research experience, you need extracurricular and like leadership roles. Like you need all this other stuff in addition to that. So it's like, you know, it's just one of those other things that most students who get into school have that sort of experience. So.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, because you need more than textbook. You know what I'm saying? Like you need that hands-on action knowledge. That makes the whole difference. It's like you can learn about a subject all the time, like for like months, years, and if you don't know how to apply on the subject or take action on the subject, I mean, what do you?
What good is it?
Yeah.
No, I agree with that, and that's just like, you know, having leadership roles and like, for example, a lot of people who don't do amazing on the MCAT, let's say they get an average score. Some do get into great schools, and that's just either on like their essays and like they showed, you know, their personality through the essays or just in their interview. A lot of people who are strictly just like books, 4.0 GPA, like all they do is study, are not so great at holding a conversation or having just like bringing life to a conversation. And as a physician, that is so important. So if they don't have that component, like a med school isn't gonna want you.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like communication skills and
huge in the med field.
Especially, right, any field, but especially in the med field. I mean, when you're talking about how you have to deliver bad news sometimes, and it's like the worst of bad news because when it comes to your health, it's like it's life or death type thing. So in those scenarios, it's like if you don't know how to communicate yourself, you know, deliver the message properly, it's like, okay, it may come across.
Right, and it's never just you. It's literally a team.
Right.
Even if it's the most minor surgery or even like a diagnosis, like it's usually run through other people. Like there's other people in the room. Surgeries, there's so many people in the room. There's anesthesiologists, there's surgical nurses, there's PAs, there's the actual surgeon. Like there's so many people. So, you know, team. Everyone has to be able to communicate and take advice. And
you would at least hope so, right? But you have
I hope so. I'd hope so.
Yeah,
that's some big stuff.
Imagine you go in to get surgery and they tell you, listen, I got Libby here, for example, and then I have Sarah. They can't. I mean, they're one with each other and they can't communicate well. I'm like, I don't want to get surgery with those two.
Of course.
I might die here.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, because even like simple stitches, if you go, it's like one person checks you in, one person numbs it, whatever. One person comes in, stitches you up.
Yeah.
One person, the doctor comes in like, yeah, that's
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And so you were saying it's something you want to do. What if right now, because you also do modeling, what if right now you become a six-figure model for a magazine, for multiple magazines? Would you still try to become?
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy taking like modeling. I suck at it. Like I'm really trying. I suck at posing. I suck at working my angles. There's some people who look great at every angle. That's not me. But even if I did have that as an option, like I don't want that to be like me and like all I do. Like I want to contribute more and I want to do medicine. Like I want to go down that field. So it'll always be like a side hustle, but it'll never be a thing.
It's just an outlet that you like.
Yeah.
But it's never gonna replace what you truly.
No, not at all.
I respect that. I respect that a lot, because I feel like a lot of people have a number figure that they can replace what they really love.
Yeah, and that frustrates me. So, I have a friend who is studying engineering, and they're grinding hard in school, but they're also very into like, I want to blow up on social media kind of thing. I want to do this, and they were like, oh, how great would it be like if I was on this TV show and I blew up, like, dang, like, I would get rid of engineering, like, screw that. I'm like, what are you, like, that just makes me mad. Like, why are you studying something to do for the rest of your life if it's not something you truly want to do? Like, that just frustrates me. There's so many people going through that. There's so many people with, like, family pressures, societal pressures to go one way and not the other. So, I don't know, that frustrates me. Education is, like, amazing, and I love learning, and it's like when you're not loving it, like, what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah, that's the anything really.
Yeah.
That we discussed earlier, like he said, if you're doing something that even if it pays you $1 million and you hate it, that's not,
Yeah, that's not
really
making it.
good.
That's not success. I mean, because success, first and foremost, success can be defined in various different ways
Right.
depending on the individual,
100%.
right? Because fulfillment, I feel like success is very next to fulfillment, right? It's one or the other. So it's like if you're not fulfilled, you're not successful. That's all that you need in life, fulfillment.
I
Even
feel
if you're
like-
making $2 an hour.
I feel like then rarely anyone's there. Rarely anyone's going to make it in life then.
it's
According to
hard.
that logic.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's hard. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
why.
of people don't even know themselves. They're just lost and consumed with, like, societal ideas and, like, people's, the standards other people hold and, like, how people see them and just, like, all this other stuff opposed to themselves. And,
That's
like,
where blowing
what
up
they
comes from.
want. Yeah.
That's where blowing up comes from. Everybody wants that attention for something that they truly don't like to do.
Sad.
Yes, like I talked to like this owner of a mechanic shop, just one mechanic shop, and he's like every now and then he's making like, well, he makes ends meet. I'm not saying struggling, but he's like, hey, I couldn't have it any other way. I love my job, love working on cars. Like for me, if photography can, or just content creating in general can get me where like it pays my bills and then more, I would be happy. I would, I can travel to shoot these people and stuff like that. Hopefully eventually, that's my goal right there, but
You're on the right track.
thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, so that's why, where am I going with this? Well,
Here's
we
my,
are not fine.
here's
Don't
my
what we
viewpoint on
love.
this. Here's my viewpoint. Okay, so you find something that you love, and you have to become financially literate. So okay, how can I do something that I love, and what can I do? What can I do to make that provide a lot more for me? So let's say I'm a mechanic, like for example, with the example this guy was giving. I'm a mechanic, but let's say I'm making $50,000 a year. That's not a lot of money. To be honest, that's not a lot of money. So now you got to think, okay, how can I multiply this while still being in this career path or doing something that I love to do? I mean, and nowadays I feel like with the internet, I mean, anything's really possible. So how do I multiply the amount of money that I'm making within the industry that I love? I feel like those go hand in hand because I feel like you have to be financially literate and create some sort of financial freedom. So you can create timely freedom because, I mean, it's great that you love what you do, but at the same time, you want to create financial freedom in order to create time freedom to do the other things that you love to do, especially if you're going to be a mechanic and you want to support your kid, you're going to have a kid, $50,000 isn't a lot. Okay, let's just be real. If you want to have a wife, you want to have kids, you're going to need a lot more money. And you don't want money to take away from the passion that you have for what you're doing. You know what I mean? So financial literacy, in addition to what you love, is very, very important. That's what I believe.
I definitely think so. I think that some people can't get so far with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like closed-minded and not very educated too much on like other things, but like when I see my mom for example, she's a civil engineer, so she works for the state designing like bridges and highways, which I think is the most boring desk job. But I feel like she doesn't have much room to like go anywhere with that. You know what I mean? And she loves it, but I feel like it depends. You're right. Like with social media, you can pretty much blow up anything nowadays. But I don't know. And also like in my case, just because I have like financial freedom does not mean I'm gonna have time freedom. Obviously, like I will have time for things I want, and that's one thing that pisses me off. People are like, oh well, I guess you don't want kids or a family because you're not gonna have time for them. Like I know so many successful surgeons and doctors, and they all have families, and they've all been like the best parents. Like it's gonna be harder. I'm gonna come home at the end of the day, drained, so tired, still have to like take care of my kids and cook, clean, whatever I have to do, but like, you just gotta do it if you love it, you know?
I think it's also finding outlets as well. Like, okay, you can do something you love and maybe not just have that as your main source of income. You know, maybe have other things that are coming through. Like maybe you want to invest, stock market, foreign exchange market. You want to go into the real estate market. This is stuff that you can do. It's just that, you know, you have to prioritize your spending. Make sure that you're putting money, you know, not on liabilities, but assets. That's very important. I think everybody can do that. If you just
I wish
focus
that
on
was
it.
like taught in schools though.
Right.
Well, that's not what school's made of. I mean,
I know,
the school system is just.
But I think like as college, I understand it's different, but like high school, I think that is so essential. Just like even down to the little things on like how to just do like normal adult things, like how to pay your bills, like open a credit card. Like I've been building credit for a while, thankfully, but like so many people I know don't even have any sort of credit established yet, you know? And it's like, this, I feel like it should be taught in high schools. Not everyone has the opportunity to learn from their parents, be guided by their parents, so it's like, that's so essential.
Yeah, no, I think it should be taught in college as well. I mean, there's so many, I dropped out of college, just to put that out there, because I personally didn't want to go through the pathway that I was going through. I plan on going back. I wanted to be a physical therapist. I love the medicine field as well. That's why I bought the textbooks and everything. I love the human body. Taking care of myself is like the utmost for me, especially after I messed up my back lifting. And I went to a chiropractor, and he was able to at least, you know, kind of like show me the ropes of how to do certain things, how to move your body in a certain way to make sure that, you know, you're taking care of as much as possible. And that's when it really opened up my eyes. Like I was like, wow, this is very important stuff, and I would love to learn about it every day. But for me, it's like I need to build up my financial and time freedom in order for me to go for those things.
Right. Make sure you're stable before going into it. Don't just jump into it, leave everything behind. Like, make sure you're good, make sure you're stable, and then get back into it. It's not like there's a time clock ticking. You have to have everything figured out by this age, which is something that
that's the problem.
all my friends think.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. People feel like they should have everything figured out by their 30s or their mid-20s. It's like, that's not realistic. That's not realistic at all. Like, first of all, I think it's like 40s to 50s is like your prime knowledgeable years, your wiser years. So it's like you haven't even begun to reach your peak. Like, you're not even halfway there. So there shouldn't be a rush ever.
Yeah, that's why I hate, like, it's like a pet peeve. When people our age giving out, like, life lessons, I'm like, bro, come on now. You know?
You haven't even lived life.
Yeah. I hate that. So it's almost like, for me, it seems like pretentious. Like, how are you going to give, like, this deep thoughts on how to live life? How are you going to quote this person, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're not, like, you haven't experienced it. I just hate that. I don't like that. That's why I don't take myself serious. I when I post on my Instagram, I always do like a dumb joke. I'm not trying to preach to a choir or anyone really. But it's like a pet peeve of mine. It's just something random.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it just depends how you present it. It's like if you're really truly in that mindset and that's the message you want to spread, that's great. I don't counter anybody for doing that.
Right.
So I mean, I see both worlds, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess so. I still think it's pretentious if you do that. I'm just saying. But so yeah, we haven't really dived into your fitness, and we actually talked to you in person, kind of about that. And I kind of want to like pick your brain more about it, because I think it's one thing I'm actually kind of opposed to you. But
Fitness.
you said, well, we kind of talked about it. Anyways, it's not like bad. But we talked about you doing fitness. You started about a year and a half ago, you said. What got you into it? Like, did you...
So, I was always very, like, athletic growing up. I'm the only girl. Like, I have all brothers. I'm the only daughter. And I was the most, like, athletic, picking up any sport, picking up any kind of activity. So, I was always very active. And then I got to high school. I got to college. And I did nothing. Like, no physical activity.
Yeah.
Like, my ex at the time, like, pushed me hard. He'd be like, let's go to the gym, like, whatever. I'd be like, no, like, I'll just stay here and, like, wait for you to come back. Like, what? I look back and I'm like, wow, I was really stupid. But I guess, like, he was the first one who instilled, like, gym, working out, like, taking care of yourself with me. But I think from his point of view is more so of, like, aesthetics and not really, like, taking care of your body. which I feel like is a lot of college kids. But anyways, past that, I was like, okay, let me like be active again because I was just like looking like a potato. And I had a membership at Planet Fitness, and some guy came up to me and he's like, oh, I'm a personal trainer, like I know exactly what you need to do intense cardio like 5 days a week, like da-da-da, you'll be fine. And I didn't know anything. So I was like, oh really, like okay, cool. So I did intense cardio 5 days a week, and like my body image just like went so downhill. Like I got extremely skinny. I lost all my boobs, all my butt. Like I was literally doing the cardio to lose like an inch of fat from my stomach, not realizing that most of my fat was all in my boobs and all in my butt. So I became really, really skinny, and that's exactly not what I wanted. So I was really upset and kind of just like didn't know how to go about it. And then all my guy friends were like, listen, Vic, like you just need to start weightlifting. And there's that huge stereotype nowadays that every girl who picks up any sort of weight is going to become this bulky female, whatever. Like it's still so like seen in like so many girls I know. They're like, oh well, I don't want to do weights, like whatever. Anyways, that pisses me off. But so I started doing that, started going to the gym with friends, like learning from them, and that's how I got here. So I only started actually going to the gym early like last summer, so a little bit over a year, but very inconsistently. Like school was obviously the priority, and so when it was like finals week or something, like I would just be so stressed. Like the 2 weeks leading up to finals week, I was like, nope, no gym time, because I want to go to the gym and like focus only on like me there and like making the best out of like what I can, not me going to the gym and like, oh my god, I have to do work, like da-da-da, like not just, like half-assing my workout, like just being my mindset somewhere else, like I just didn't like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna go, like it's fine, like I'll just take my time, like recover, and then get back to it like afterwards. So very inconsistent, a little over a year, but yeah, it's been that long. And it's just been, working out with friends since then and kind of learning a lot from Instagram, which I know people are opposed to, like these Instagram fitness gurus. Obviously, a lot of them are kind of just like trying to sell and like all not like that real stuff. But following a lot of people, I learned like how to use certain things, how to do things differently, not just like with machines, like with different equipment, like different variations of things, and that really helped me be more comfortable and also motivate me. Every time I pulled up Instagram, it was like a picture of a fitness model, like first on my feed. I was like, shit, all right, like gotta go to the gym, like it kept me going. So that's basically like how it's been the past year or so.
Yeah, let me clarify for all the females, because that is a very, very valid point that you just made. Females feel like they're gonna look like a man if they weightlift, which is absolutely not the case. And I'll tell you why. There's these hormones that we produce. Our primary hormone is called testosterone.
Yep.
And your primary hormone is called estrogen. Because we have higher amounts of testosterone in our body, that's why we're able to build the amount of muscle and look like.
But even then, it's not easy for you guys. It's not like a girl who's gonna go to the gym for 2 days is gonna look bulky, or any guy even. Like that's with so much time and so much weightlifting,
Right, and that's like I said, that's a common misconception for females. It's like that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen at all unless you start actually taking testosterone. And you're gonna see a lot of changes in your body. So but that's the reason. Ladies, you don't have to worry about it. Go out there and lift, because not only is that gonna help you build muscle, and I know a lot of females want to build their butt and stuff like that. But not only that, that's going to allow you to burn fat. The more muscle you have, the more energy your body requires, and the more fat you're going to burn on a daily basis. So that's why you want to lift weights. I'm not telling you go out there and be a power lifter. That's not what you. Actually, I don't suggest anybody be a power lifter unless you want to be a power lifter. Unless that's what you want to do. Just go in the gym and just lift weights. That's it.
But also, a lot of people want their body differently. Like, what I want for my body is not necessarily what someone else wants physically. I posted a before and after picture recently, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at my legs. Like, they were literally like the size of my wrist. And some people were like, oh my god, like I want my legs to be like that. Like your before picture, like how do I get them skinny? I was like, all you can do there is cardio, because weightlifting, like you can definitely like, get them smaller, but like you're essentially going to build muscle too to only make it bigger. So it depends on what people want. Like a lot of girls are still stuck on like extremely skinny
the model
figure.
Physique, the model like general model physique.
Yeah, like that bikini physique, whatever. Like very skinny. But the thing I kind of was against with you is that you.
Oh, that's right.
You kind of mentioned it. I'll segue into that right now. You were like, you told me you were like, oh, I'm kind of self-conscious because like you said your boobs got smaller.
Oh, extremely. Extremely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the reality of it, unfortunately. Like, so many girls I know who have gotten into fitness have lost all their boobs, too. And that's why a lot of bigger fitness people have their boobs done, too. And, like, I don't know, it's life, but you can just pay for those. When I have the money for it.
Yeah, but, like, okay, you know what?
It's not like I'm doing it because I want to attract attention or because of what someone thinks. It's literally 100%. Me. Yeah, I look in the mirror like every day to get ready or whatever. Like I want to feel better about myself.
Yeah, no, and like I'm not against it at all. I just thought like my reasoning is like because someone told me, and this kind of actually. So when I was younger, like perspectives always change. When I was younger, I was like, dude, the bigger the better, That's my
of course.
And then I'm like. I got into a phase where like, you want natural. I like natural. Just be happy with what, how you are. And now I'm more like modest. I'm more like, I'm not modest. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm more like, if you look good, you feel good.
100%.
Yeah. But regarding to like, you said your butt. You're like, oh, my butt's also got smaller.
Yeah.
But you look at yourself. You're like.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. Like, people used to call me Thick Vic in high school because it was just like, it was all fat essentially.
Yeah.
And obviously losing all that fat and starting from scratch, now it's like more muscle based.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to talk about my butt that way. It's more muscle based, but it's still not like where it was, I don't know. Like I'm really big into cosmetic stuff. Like I love watching cosmetic videos, like watching plastic surgeries. Like I'm all for that stuff. Of course, I have not had anything done, unfortunately, because I'm broke. But when I have the money for it, I will.
What would you do?
And okay, everyone always judges me. Another thing, I have so many girls who are friends that are girls going through all these procedures now, especially now during Corona. And like they're afraid to talk about it because everyone gets bashed for it, and that's another thing that I hate. Like I'll go on a Instagram live and I'll say, oh, like I really want to do this, and people are like coming at me for it. Like, who are you? Like I'm doing it for myself to feel good. But anyways, first thing I do.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Is it mostly guys or girls that like come at you?
Mostly guys.
Really?
Yes. Because girls understand my insecurities about it, and they like are for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They like I receive more support in that sense.
Because they know where you're coming from. Yeah.
Right. They feel the same way. It's like it's just like, and a lot of guys who come at me for it, I'm like, listen, let's say you had a daughter one day, and let's say she was like completely flat chested, went to bed every night. Like these things eat like up a girl's mind, especially like a younger girl growing up. Like, if she's like feeling so sad about it, thinks about it all the time, like just doesn't feel like happy with herself, like are you gonna tell your daughter no? Like, yeah, you're not probably just gonna be like, oh, here, it's 8K, like go, like do whatever you want. No, but like I hope you don't like, you do something to help her make feel better. Obviously let her sit with the idea and try to make it better through other means, help her feel better about herself, like with other things. But like at the end of the day, if she's still like feeling insecure about it, and if it's something that keeps her up at night, like why not? Do it for you. Of course, sit on it like a lot of time, think about it a lot, because that's such a big modification. But
yeah, especially like as like if you're trying to make that decision at a young age, it's like, okay, you're young, it's different. You're at a different mindset, so it's like. Maybe you should hold on and kind of like you said, sit on it, see how you feel about it as you grow older, you know, and then if you still feel like you want to make that decision because it's going to make you ultimately happier in life, by all means. Your body's your body, who cares? I mean, who cares what other people have to say anyways?
Exactly.
So, going back to that question, what would you do?
Okay, so I'll go like by priority-ish. So first thing I would do is my lips. My top lip, when I smile, I'm literally like going hard on myself, and people are probably going to go to my Instagram and see everything. But when I smile, my top lip kind of flattens out, and that's such a big insecurity of mine, so I try not to like, it's my genuine smile, it flattens out, so I try not to like smile hard because of that, and it makes me like super insecure. So that would probably be first. Second would probably be getting my boobs done. Third would probably be my hips, which bother me a lot. I don't have hips. And that's based on just like bone formation. Like not only do I have like bad hip dips, I don't know if you guys know what that is. A lot of guys don't.
Was that you? No, I know now because someone told me about it. I don't know. I think my friend Valerie, she told me about it.
Yeah,
So
most
that's
guys
what
don't
it's
understand what hip dips are, but that's something just genetically you can't change. Yeah, and it's like, you know, you can grow a little bit of muscle like around it to kind of minimize the appearance, but at the end of the day, it's still there. So definitely like get my hips done, and then my nose bump bothers me. It's not from this side; it's like from the front here. And in a lot of pictures, you might be able to pick it up in the pictures we took yesterday of my face. Like every photo shoot I do, you can pick it up, and it just drives me insane. But that is not, I don't need like an actual nose job for that. I only need, it's called like a non-surgical nose job. And it's essentially just injecting Botox to like straighten it.
Straighten. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. My like part with my nose too. I have a big nose.
I'm looking at you. I'm laughing.
But that requires a lot of like upkeep too, because like Botox, getting your lips done, all that stuff is definitely like everything. What's it called? It dissolves within a few months, so it's just a lot of upkeep.
Yeah. Like my nose is probably what I would do. I've
Really? You would get plastic surgery?
on my nose, yes. That's the only thing I would do.
It's so expensive. Like I've made a list of like, okay, this is all that I want. Like how much is it? And it comes out to be like almost 40K. I'm like, where am I gonna pull that out of? Like, damn. But I don't know. We'll see. One day.
I look at you and I laugh because it's like I see, I'm like I don't see any of that
Because
stuff.
it's, you know, and it's not something that you'd notice right off the bat. But if I point it out, you'll start to notice. Another thing is my stretch marks. Let me tell you, growing up has been such a hassle with bad stretch marks. And a lot of people are like, no, you're fine, like whatever. Like I've met a lot of people bigger than me or people who've lost weight and have stretch marks, and like not like it's so rare for me to find someone who has stretch marks like I do. I never was a bigger girl. I never had like a dramatic loss in weight either. Like I'm not too sure. I've had them literally since as long as I can remember, like middle school. But I have them everywhere, all over my boobs, the back of my calves, inner outer thighs, on my butt. Like it's taken over my body essentially. And I've seen so many dermatologists. Literally nothing I can do about it. I can either get them like lasered off. Like essentially over time it's just going to reduce the appearance, not completely go away, and that's over 10K investment throughout all the sessions, or get them tattooed. There's a cosmetic tattoo artist who will tattoo each one shaded a little bit darker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never heard that.
And that's like a specific kind of tattoo artist. Like, you know when women who have breast cancer and have to have a mastectomy and have to get their boobs removed? And so they get implants done and they essentially don't have a nipple. And so cosmetic tattoo artists will not only like draw a nipple, but like shade it. Like it looks 3D. Like it's literally so realistic looking for women like that. So like essentially a cosmetic tattoo artist I'd have to visit. But anyways, yeah, I've tried everything to remove them, and that's something that if I don't tell you about it, you might not pick up on the severity of it. You'll definitely notice it, but you won't be like, damn, actually it is that. But when I point it out to you, you're like, oh yeah, like wow, like they are like really, you know, prominent.
Yeah. So when it comes to the psychology of that, which is weird, guys don't really, like, so I'm full of stretch marks, like, cause I used to be fat. I'm full with them. Like, if I take my shirt off, it's like everywhere. But it doesn't really bother me.
But I think there's like a double standard with that also.
What do you like?
Like stretch marks on men, I think are viewed very differently than stretch marks on females.
Might be surprised.
I don't. You know
Kendrick
what?
Lamar loves that shit.
I'm telling you. I've met guys who are like, no, like it's actually like nice, like I like stretch marks, and then when it comes down to it, they're like, oh yeah, like it's bad. And again, also another thing, PSA to all the men out there, if you know about a woman's insecurities, do not point it out. You don't have to like
acknowledge it. Just don't point it out. Don't say, oh,
just don't. Yeah, like don't like, you know. If like I tell you, you know, last week, oh, you know I don't like my stretch marks, and then a week later you see them, you're like, oh yeah, they're actually really bad, Vic. Like, don't tell me that. That's how, and you'd be surprised. That's happened so many times, and that just makes me feel shitty about myself. So, don't do that, people. But yeah, basically, like everyone's their own biggest critic, and we see things that other people don't see. You know, but at the end of the day, it's just how you view yourself and your happiness and how you feel and what makes you feel good about yourself and all that. So
well, what I was gonna say is I think women are more
Yeah, very. Are you gonna say they're more susceptible to?
More image conscious.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
100%.
yeah, because I have stretch marks.
out here, great.
Yeah, because I have like I have filled with stretch marks, like even under my like you can see them right here, my bicep. I have them everywhere.
Barely, but okay.
Yeah, that's where I have mine.
Okay, well if I take my shot, you're gonna see them, but my stomach too, because I'm like a different shade. You'll see it. So the thing is, but I guess 'cause I have them and I see like I'm also a photographer, so I noticed them on you and like.
Yeah, you had mentioned it when I told you I lost my boobs.
Oh, I was like, well, it's only because I was like, oh, that makes sense.
You mentioned it, Jesus.
No, but like not that. I had brought it up. Continue.
I didn't. I saw him. I was like, oh, that's why. I was like, explains this. I was like, because it's weird. You're like.
I don't have big boobs and I have stretch marks. That's essentially it.
That's the only reason why I mentioned it. I mentioned it because, oh, you do. You're right. Anyways, so that's why like it's almost like I saw him on you, but I didn't like. Oh, you have stretch marks. I didn't say that, and I almost felt like it was. It's almost like invisible to me. Like it's like whatever to me.
I mean, as a photographer too, I'm sure you see it often.
Yeah, like especially with if girls have big booties and like small little short girls with big booties. I'm just.
I mean, anyone.
Well, yeah, no, Nicole has stretch marks too.
But she lost a lot of weight. But yes, a lot of weight.
She did. She even when I first met her, she's small now when I first met her. But even when I first met her, she was also chubbier before when I first met her. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like I said, I guess it depends on people because I really overlook it. It's like
that's just how you view it, but you'd be surprised how most people view it. That's what I would say, and most people will tell you otherwise, but that's not how they actually feel about it.
Do you think it's just a switch of perspective? Because I think it could be. Honestly, like for me, it's like I could look at it like as a trophy. I'd be like, listen, I lost all this weight. I got more muscle now. I got bigger, and that's the reason why.
I mean, there are people that are proud of it and flaunt it, but
I wouldn't say proud of it. I'm just saying like
there are people that are.
Like.
But I don't know.
Stretch marks?
I just don't see it that way. Like for example, Nicole. Like we were talking about her. I was just with her the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, no, like I'm super proud of my stretch marks," because I was ranting to her how there's photographers who, photographers touch up, but like. If you take a picture of me and 100% edit out all my stretch marks, like my stretch marks are extremely prominent. If you smooth out my skin to that extent and like just Photoshop my face to the like where I don't even recognize myself in the picture, like that bothers me. I don't like my stretch marks, but I don't want you to Photoshop them out either. Like I'm going to be myself. I'm gonna show myself, you know. And that's just like me preaching like on Instagram too. You know, I'm still struggling with like how I view them. But I don't want anyone to think like, oh, you have to remove them either. You know, you don't have to. But essentially that really bothers me, having to Photoshop them and stuff. That's why I told you, I was like, I appreciate you not wanting to do that. Again, like little touch-ups, of course. If I have, you know, a huge pimple on my face, like or like my, you know, I have a lot of scars on my legs.
Yeah.
Like, yes. But other stuff like that, like that's what makes the person, you know? Especially without asking them to. Like, ask me, oh, can I touch up this? Of course. Don't completely send me a picture that's not me. Without asking me.
I think a lot of people just want to get as close to the unreal as possible, and what I mean by that is what they see on social media, like from these crazy looking models who are like skin is perfect, everything's perfect.
There are people that are real like that.
That's what I'm saying, but what the problem with that becomes is like now you're comparing yourself to somebody who's not you.
Not you, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't have a certain expectancy. We're all different down to the bio.
But that's just like, I feel like human nature. Like, I don't know about other girls, but I'm constantly comparing myself to other women. Like, I'm constantly doing that, which is really bad because it makes me feel like
you're not good enough.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's hard. I've definitely gotten better with it, but I feel like it's really hard.
I think that's a very prominent problem, just social media in general, seeing the
unrealistic expectations.
Exactly.
And that's why when I post something on social media, for example, you know, talking about a struggle or something I'm facing, like people are so happy, and some people reach out to me, they're like, oh my god girl, I'm going through the same thing, like I'm so glad you talked about it, because everyone posts like highlights of their life, only the best of the best,
That's
only the
what-
good things, right?
what
And
it
that
is,
keeps
yeah.
people alive. Oh my god, their relationship's so perfect. Like that's why you see on social media, like you don't know what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's everything in life, and we have to take into consideration. Yeah, there's things behind doors that we don't know about.
Yeah.
At all times.
At all times.
At
yeah.
all times.
Like you literally, it's like even for a video, even for a picture on Instagram, it's literally like a one frame of like someone's life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
of someone's 24-hour day. It's a frame, so you don't know exactly what's, you know, even like 5 frames ago.
We're all guilty of it, though. I mean, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
that's why filters exist.
See,
Because
Love a good filter.
I always use the Oslo filter on Instagram.
Yeah,
well, on my
story.
stories because I really
I
don't
always
post
use.
like
Everyone's sick of me for it. Like so many people are like to the point of
Oh,
like
the
messaging
butterfly
me.
one?
Yes, so many people are messaging me now. They're like, Vic, someone's gonna meet you in person and like actually think you have butterflies like around you and think you're catfish. Like, I use that filter so much. It's just a perfect filter. But every girl who uses it is like, wow, now I understand why. It's just it's amazing.
that. That makes sense. 'Cause I guess for me, I would want to be a little bit darker. That's probably why I use the filter that I use.
No, Nicole. Victoria just wants butterflies around her at all times.
Yeah.
Butterflies for good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew what you were talking about when I'm like, cause I see your stories. I knew exactly what you were talking about. So, did you get your audio fixed for live?
No.
So, how do you go live before? No, I'm joking.
I would go normally. I don't know what happened. I've tried everything. Like literally everything.
Do you check your settings?
Yes. There's not much you can do in settings.
Did you check your phone settings?
Yes.
Wait, you audio works when you post a story.
I've restarted my phone. I've done like a software update on my phone. Like I've deleted the app so many times, logged out so many times. Like I've done everything. I don't know what it is. But it's weird because story audios work fine.
Yeah.
It's literally just going live. So I don't know how
it's
to figure
weird.
that out.
Make sure your thing's not muted again. I don't know.
The world doesn't want you to go live.
I guess so.
That's why when we initially, you try to,
But you're live now.
you try to, yeah, that no live juju you had almost up in our operations here. Fuck, I can't speak.
Wow, you think it might have been that?
Yeah,
That makes sense. You're bringing bad juju in here.
The bad juju. But I mean, yeah, I. So this study is also saying that social media, kids are more depressed nowadays, and it's I think mostly due to the unrealistic expectations of people on Instagram, social media, Snapchat, all that good stuff. But I think it's necessary. Like I want to use it as a platform for me to expand my photography, my other businesses that I'm trying to do, like my clothing company right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, more details later if you follow my Instagram.
Sorry. Put these under here.
So yeah, but I think it's like a necessary thing nowadays. You know.
Well, it's become socially normal. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Once something becomes socially normal, it's really, really, really hard to like take it out.
Yeah.
Like all the people who are upset now that TikTok's gonna be gone. I think TikTok's supposed to be gone.
Are you?
It's supposed to be today, but it's still on as of right now.
So it's because what is it? Because China is like.
It's
Yes,
a Chinese company.
But do you think China's not taking our information through Facebook and all these other apps?
Yeah, but it's
So like TikTok.
But this is
It's a
primarily a
China-based
Chinese app.
company.
I know, but there's like, I feel like it's not changing much at all.
Did you hear about the Chinese espionage in Houston? Chinese espionage going on in Houston?
No.
No. Well, you know what espionage is, right?
No.
You know? Okay.
Espionage?
Espionage?
Like a spy?
It's spy. Like spy
Oh.
stuff, yeah. Like
I
it was
mean,
big, big
I
Cold
feel
War
like that's
area.
all over us. I feel like there's. But continue.
Well, espionage is specifically like country spies, like spies for
Mhm.
other countries. There was the U.S. in Houston for the Chinese. What's it called?
Come on, Mr. Storeman. I have no idea.
What diplomats almost? It was like what's that word called? Like fuck. They have it's like a foreign diplomat, but there's like a word for it that like a consulate, whatever.
I have no idea what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you preaching the wrong crowd. I have.
Okay, it's like okay, whatever. So there's like Chinese diplomats. They're stationed. That's not the word, but they're stationed in Houston, or whatever. Trump, he kicked them out because
I'm not surprised.
they're,
though.
they're performing espionage
Right.
and stuff.
But
So
I feel like that's that's all.
Diplomats.
Yeah, whatever. Continue.
Well, it's just because it's happening. So.
Of course. I can literally, tell you something right now, and I'll go home, and all the ads on my phone, my laptop, computer, everything are gonna be about what we talked about here.
Yeah. Talking about it or searching?
But both.
Talk.
It's weird.
Yes.
Bro. It's so
cookies?
weird.
Talked about.
What's cookies though? Cookies for searching is cookies. I know that.
Searching, of course, I get that. Like if you search something on Google, the ads don't pop up on Facebook. Yes,
no,
but
it's weird.
Talking about it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's so.
Are you sure that you're
it
talking about it and
Yes.
then you look it up
Nope.
and then
No, bro, I guarantee you it happens to me every single day.
You can talk about
fucking
something,
day.
talk about a product, talk about anything, and it's gonna pop up as an ad. I'm not joking, it's happened so many
Bro, it's
times.
weird.
That's why I
It's
have
so
a lot
weird.
of friends who literally, if they go to tell me something like a secret or something, they literally sit on their phone to so it doesn't hear anything. Put it somewhere and then tell me, it's that crazy.
No, it's super, super weird. I feel like there's almost literally no privacy.
There isn't, but that's why I'm like, why ban TikTok?
It's slightly different. I mean, I get where you're coming from in the sense that, it's going to happen either way, but if we can remove, one of the primary sources, why wouldn't you? Especially because there's so much, turmoil between both the U.S. and China. It makes sense. I mean, I don't support everything that Donald Trump does, but I guess I can see the logic in that.
I see you have a relationship with TikTok.
Are you a TikToker?
So I don't. No, I suck at TikToks. I have 5. Only one of them went viral, but it's just my main source of entertainment. It's just so fun. And everyone I've introduced the app to, I was late to get onto the app, but everyone I introduced the app to is it's so bad. I need to get it away from me. You get stuck on TikTok for hours. That's why when I'm in school, I am not allowed to open the app. I would literally delete the app.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, but it's if you don't know TikTok, then you don't have that,
No, I wouldn't say
that connection.
Because for me, it's I downloaded TikTok and I was on it maybe
Then your For You page was boring. You're
For You?
Yeah, it's your customized.
Browser.
Your home page.
Either way, I watched TikTok video and this is so fucking cringy to me. I can't watch it. I can't do it. I don't
You
know
gotta
why.
watch the funny ones, not the.
All that's just
whatever.
all that's BS.
There's some funny ones.
So
I'm not gonna
I have no emotional attachment to TikTok.
There's some funny ones though, but some posts on Instagram that you see are from TikTok. They take it from TikTok and they put it on the meme pages.
Yeah.
Some are from TikTok. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that makes me think okay, now we can just create another app that's. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't TikTok when it was Musically. I'm just saying.
Same thing that happened to Vine, right? What happened? Was Vine a Chinese company? What happened?
No, Vine just they couldn't. A lot of creators were moving away from Vine because the money wasn't there. They went to other places like Instagram, YouTube, stuff like that. But I knew TikTok when it was Musically. I bet y'all know that.
I didn't know it was that.
You know Musically?
Musically was whack.
But it's the same thing, right?
That's what TikTok was before.
Isn't it essentially the same thing?
No, the same thing.
No. Very debatable.
No, I mean dead serious. It was literally Musically before TikTok was Musically, and they rebranded TikTok.
Okay, then they changed it a lot.
Yes, they did, but it was Musically.
Okay,
before.
but it's not Musically. It's very different.
It's crazy how a lot of the people who are coming out famous out of this are really young kids.
Yeah.
Super young.
It's so easy to blow up on TikTok. If someone tells me they're TikTok famous, that's
Oh, that's normal.
cool. Yeah, it actually is.
Some brand
It's
news.
so easy to blow up on TikTok. It's a lot harder on Instagram and stuff like that.
What does it mean TikTok famous? Well, because newer.
Yeah,
What does it mean TikTok famous? Every post you do goes viral, or you have one viral post?
I would probably say it depends, right? I mean, if you're creating content that people are constantly liking, then it's very likely that all the videos are gonna
100%. Because a lot of people have that one-hit wonder TikTok, but that doesn't make you
Carmen has one.
TikTok famous.
How many views did he have?
And they had one that had 15K plus, something like that.
That's nothing.
Yeah,
that's
nothing.
normal for TikToks.
Yeah, I've seen.
I don't know.
I've seen some that are millions.
I don't know. But he had one that he's oh, this one really blew up, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was with another girl, and she did some dumb stuff. It was cringy, but. Well, damn, we really ventured off into topics. You know, we were off for an hour, just so you were.
My hourglass is wrong.
Yeah. Putting that hourglass off.
Well, it's because we messed up and we turned it because we were off by 10 minutes first and had to return around and
True.
go back.
Are you including the first 10 minutes? Is that why?
Well, it's been now more than an hour, like hour 15.
Again? Damn. I talk a lot.
But what about fast, didn't it?
That's it.
Did it feel like an hour?
No, not at all. I think we talked about 3 things.
Right?
Medicine, TikTok, and fitness.
Fitness.
Yeah.
Oh, well, also, I mean, we dived into like insecurities and
Oh, yeah,
well,
and,
psychology
plastic surgery.
really. Yeah. Like, yeah.
What's going on in the world? How do you feel about the coronavirus?
Do you think coronavirus is legit?
Everyone asks me, and this is like one of the questions that I just don't answer because it's just too political at the moment, like all that stuff.
The coronavirus?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's a political way.
But I'll give you my take on it. So it's definitely blown extremely out of proportion.
Yeah.
Extremely. And like I agree with most healthcare workers, but also at the same time, like it's just all money nowadays, so not really. But I don't know. I think that it's definitely real. I don't think it's fake. I have so many friends who actually got COVID and had symptoms. But I think being at the age I am has also minimized like how I view it as a threat. Like I don't see it as a threat at all.
Yeah.
And just like all my friends had it and they were fine. Like I don't know. I don't see it. It would be different. Let's say I was in my 50s or 60s and all I did was watch the news, which blows it out of proportion. So in my mind, I would think it's a lot bigger than it is. And being older and at a higher risk, I would be more afraid of it. But honestly, like we're all gonna get it at the end of the day. You can literally quarantine.
Like, why aren't you wearing your mask right now?
Yeah, no, you can literally quarantine for like 6 months, however much you want. But if we don't cut human interaction completely, which is just unrealistic, like you're still gonna have people seeing their friends, still like that's just not gonna happen. And so there's no point. If you quarantine for 6 months, well guess what? It's gonna be right there waiting for you as soon as you come out of quarantine. Like we're all gonna get it at one point. It's stupid. And I think closing businesses on it is just hurting all of us. For no reason. I think it's good that we are taking these extra precautions just to be like more sanitary and all this stuff. But like things closing and like stuff like that is just
I think that part is going to have a larger impact on the population rather than the disease or the disease
The
itself.
average age of death for COVID is higher than the normal average age of death. Like, isn't that? Hello?
Well,
like,
that's the thing. And other death
right?
counts have gone up. Suicide, homicides, all that stuff is up since COVID
because of that.
hit in. Yeah. So it's like, what poison are you gonna pick?
Yeah. Whatever. And like, just knowing like Brazil and corruption and like how they're handling things there, it's just like everything's for money. Like I have a friend who went to go get tested, didn't get tested that day because they only do a certain amount of tests, like at certain clinics. And so they were like, no, like we already have like our maximum amount of testing per day. Like sorry. So they ended up never getting tested.
Yep.
And they got a call back. Yeah, that they got tested positive. And so it's just stuff like that it's like, I've been hearing too much about and like all this stuff. I'm just like, I don't know.
At this point, COVID's old news for me, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm also loose cannon. I mean.
But it can happen. So I knew a girl who was 20 years old. She was younger than me, extremely healthy, very active growing up. Like I've known her since, I don't know, I was like maybe 15. And she got corona right when it had come out. Right when it was like starting to blow up, and she had like failure of everything, like heart failure, lung failure, kidney failure, everything. Her parents were called literally like from the day she was feeling fine to like less than 2 days after, called to like say bye to their daughter. It was bad, and she pulled through, thankfully. But that can still happen. It's just the chances of that are so minimal, and that's just with every chance in life you have a risk for anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, just go on with your life, live your life.
My primary issue with it is the information that we're getting in order to prevent it. I get social distancing. I even get the mask. Hell, I even get the mask because that is a way that you can transfer the disease. But nobody's talking about, okay, what can you do to make sure that your body, if you do get it, it'll sustain it. Like nobody's talking about how to boost your immune system. Like nobody's doing that. Well, I think it's bigger than that, because it since it is a pandemic, it should be one of the primary like points of information that the government, which is really the source of information that we're primarily getting from should be pointing it out. Like, a lot of people aren't doing. They're not taking vitamin C. They're not taking vitamin D. Mostly everybody is vitamin D
deficient. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's a big time problem.
Video games stuff. I'm not saying video games are bad, but it's a big problem.
That's why. That's the one thing that I think we started doing once COVID started. We started tanning. In my life have I ever thought. I thought tanning was for girls. I know that's a stupid thought, of course, but it got to the point where I was tanning for an hour every single day on my lunch. Like, that's what I would do. I would just go outside, sit in the sun, and just tan. And it helped me out because I'm pale as a motherfucker. I really am. I'm super, super pale.
Just
So,
lucky you didn't do him justice because of the exposure, but
yeah.
he's tanner than he would usually be.
Yeah, I'm getting lighter again. I haven't tanned in like 2 weeks. Well, that's not realistic. Like, been a week. So.
I'm bronze puppy, you know? Nah, but people be telling me I got really tan.
Oh, you get tan because you already got that shade to you, so it's unfair.
You can see the difference.
Yeah, you got a head start on it.
Well, you're Brazilian, so what are you talking about?
But I'm pale like normally. Like
that's
really?
pale for you?
This is a little tan. This isn't tan.
No, but I've seen people who are like literally almost transparent.
But like if you look at my bikini line, like it's white.
If you look at my groin area, it's white. So.
Exactly. Me too.
Well, that's different. You're really not getting any exposure to the sun or anything.
No, it's white.
Like
It's
that's
white.
Like that's your skin.
It's white like this.
Like.
It's white like this. Probably worse. Cause like some.
That's
red.
not white.
No, it's white. It's white. It's like it's where it's white.
Bro, even that right there is not as light of a shade as my regular skin.
Do you see that? See how white that is?
That's different. You're not getting any exposure there though.
That's pretty high
That's
up.
like your normal skin
That's
color.
pretty high up.
Man.
I gotta wear Speedo when I tan now.
No, you gotta pull it like Bad Bunny.
Oh, naked?
You gotta go fully naked.
But he
you gotta
did.
let the cheeks just get all the full of it.
He did his home, so.
I mean, yeah.
He's
got money.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I want to make sure that I'm tan all around.
I don't think that would never be tan. Even, right? That would never be even at that point anymore.
You can definitely get it even.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Have you ever done tanning beds?
No,
A tanning
never.
bed? I don't think I would do it.
I honestly want to.
I would rather do the sun.
I've never. I mean, yeah, but like tanning beds just like time wise.
Like 10 minutes in here.
Because you don't get, do you get like the vitamin D from tanning now, right? Or from tanning beds?
I honestly don't know. I think because it's literally still like UV rays. That's a good question.
That's something to look up.
That's a good
Jamie.
question. But I actually wanted to get into it because our gym offers like
Bailey does
tanning
too.
stuff. So
Really?
Bailey does too.
I know. I don't know how to do it. I
You
want
said
to.
Bailey's the huge upscale gym at your place. Your town.
I've gone once. It was before a formal I had, like maybe like 2 years ago, and I was probably like this color, and I went to go get a spray tan. My first time ever.
That's crazy.
I got the darkest color ever. And I looked the same. I looked the same though. It didn't change anything. That's why I was like, oh, okay. So I don't think spray tans can get dark enough for me. I think I just have to literally like just cook in the sun.
Every time I think of a spray tan, I think of a bodybuilder, like an extremely jacked bodybuilder.
I don't know how they get that dark. Because I literally got the darkest color possible.
I think they apply multiple coats.
Yeah, they go thick.
Yeah, they apply multiple
They probably
coats.
have to go.
They go deep.
I think they
Probably have to
tan.
go like every day for like a long time.
Well, no. Most of the process, it's like hours long process to get that dark. I don't think it's like bronze or something. It's some weird stuff. I looked it up. Well, I didn't look it up. I saw a video of his bodybuilder.
So it does do it, huh? It does stimulate it?
Oh, you saw it? No, I changed the. Hold on. I guess though, but it doesn't provide enough
Yeah,
to
so
sustain.
go out and get some sun, basically.
There you go. Yeah, they do. So yeah, apparently.
But not like to the same ratio as the sun.
Yeah, because you're not gonna do tanning bed. You're gonna be in the sun more than in tanning bed. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Well, is there anything you want to talk about right now?
Oh, actually, I wanted to do this. I was thinking about the segment. Anything? Any? I guess sort of information from the medical field that that's not normally known to the populace? Something strange. Because there is a lot of weird stuff that people just don't know, or just stuff that's abnormal.
Not really. I don't know. I know more about like just weird cases, but not so much like about people who don't know about the human body.
What's a weird case to you?
Like just like I don't know, like finding like a patient comes in and they're not feeling good, like stomach pains, and then they like for a while they don't know why, and then they find out they're internally bleeding and stuck like a bunch of things inside of themselves, just like weird shit like that.
Yeah, that's weird. Had my eye twitching.
Yeah, like you see like weird stuff like that all the time.
Like, do you wear glasses? No, contacts.
No.
Okay. Well, what? What's that piece?
I don't know. I have colored contacts. I have blue light glasses. Like it's just easy. Let's say I have in-person class in the morning. Like I don't. People think I do my makeup every day, but that's because what they see on Instagram. Like I rarely do my makeup. I literally just wake up. I'll throw on fake glasses because it like covers my face, and I'm like,
oh, got you.
Boom.
But so he doesn't know. But you put contacts in, right? There's a study. Well, not study.
I've worn colored contacts. Yeah.
Well, you put contacts in.
Yep.
So there was this woman. She had she actually had like multiple contacts.
Stuck in the back of her eye?
Yeah, you saw that?
No, but
What?
that happens often.
Fuck.
Okay, really?
Yeah. My friend works at an eye clinic.
Oh gosh, I thought it was one case.
That's so
but it happens
painful.
often.
That's so painful to think
Yeah.
about.
And the thing is, these contacts right now, I stuffed them 2 nights in a row.
That's so bad.
It is. Like right now, they're kind of like really dry. But I'm like, dude, 2 nights in a row. But like people that this woman had for like years. It was just weird. I don't know how that's possible.
Oh yeah, isn't it because like the bacteria like can slowly start eating your eye out?
Well, you
Something like
can get an eye infection and stuff like that, which I had before. But I don't think it's because I slept in them.
Yeah,
Because
I heard of this story where this lady like kept them all on for so long they didn't even
That's
take
the
it out
one
to wash,
that's what I was talking about.
and they like the bacteria like ate her eye out.
Okay, I don't know about that one. I don't think so. No, she had surgery to fix it.
I
Right?
mean, honestly, I can. That's all.
There's
That's
so
as
many
much
different
information I
things.
got.
Like I feel like that's it's abnormal to you unless you're exposed to the field, and it's really like not.
That's crazy though.
That is
I'm
true.
like,
That makes a lot of sense.
Because I can't fathom 2 nights right now, dude, and I want to take them off now.
Yeah, I can fathom contacts. Anyways, I wore glasses for like maybe 4 years, and I would take them to bed because I thought I was doing something. But then I got here and they're like, oh, you got 20/20 vision. You need no glasses anymore. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
That's a blessing, dude. I would never hate I would hate to lose my vision. I'm blind as a bat.
I think anybody would, right?
That's like my scariest thing.
Yeah. Anyways, anything that you want to lay on the table? Anything before we end this podcast? Did you enjoy the podcast? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It was chill. Definitely really chill.
Not nervous anymore?
Follow me on Instagram, people.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on there.
I'm really struggling to grow, but it's fine.
Really bullcrap. So you
Are you kidding? Okay, it's hard to grow while being modest.
Oh, okay.
Mic drop.
I got you.
That's exactly it. And I appreciate it when people who see my page for the first time, they're like, wow, like, I'm surprised you don't have grass all over your page. I'm like, wow, thank you. Like, that means a lot to me because not only do I not have the balls to, like, post something like that online, but, like, I don't know, whatever. But, yeah, just trying to stay modest, trying to stay semi-professional. I'm not saying that your ass isn't professional, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It garners more attention.
Yeah, so it's been really hard to grow. Really hard to grow, but it's fine.
Alright, well, I feel like you can get 10K by the end of this year. It's very plausible.
Sure, you can get 10K by the end of this month.
No shot. Unless there was some
You have
Shot for
crossing the
shot.
boundary.
Nah, you get people shout you out.
There you go.
You get
Oh yeah.
Unless it was like someone with like millions of followers.
No, you can just have somebody who has like a couple of thousand followers, and you do that with a bunch of people, and it's like you're bound to bring some people.
I have been, and I've been losing followers.
Oh.
Alright, well, when I'm gonna guarantee you at least 5. Oh,
You're guaranteeing
Three
that?
No.
people are gonna follow you
Three?
when I.
Wow, thank you.
When I post
Those
a picture.
3, shout out. Thank you to those 3.
Yeah, at
Don't
least
be
3.
weird. Don't be weird.
At least 3 are gonna follow you. Because I know people that like when I post, they was like, "Ooh, they follow." I don't know.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Just full disclosure. Don't be weird. That's it.
Oh, yeah. If you follow, don't be weird.
Don't be weird.
Well, yeah, it was a blast. Like I said, I know you for like 36 hours, and you're pretty cool.
Pretty alright.
Thank you.
It was a blast. Thank you so much for allowing me to take your pictures as well. I do appreciate
course.
that.
Of course.
And doing this last minute talk. Well, not last minute. We kind of talked about it, but still, you come down to
We
Gainesville.
talked about it like 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
The idea came up, and I had no idea what you guys were talking about. I didn't even know there was a podcast, but continue.
Technically, you did.
No, I didn't.
You
I walked into
saw
this
it,
room and was
and
like, what
then
is my...
afterwards.
And then you just
and
casually
30
said,
seconds
oh, I have a
later.
podcast, and that was it. I was like,
30
oh,
seconds
cool.
later, you heard, yeah, you're invited to it. Okay.
But I gave you a reason why we haven't posted the bitch for like a
So
month and a
thank
half.
you for that, right?
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, you probably lit a fire on our booties and our behinds. And hopefully we be consistent enough to post at least once a month.
It's gonna be hard with this move though. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah. But yeah, we do appreciate you. Follow our Instagram. We're gonna link her stuff. Follow me as well. You're gonna post some fire. I'm gonna post some fire pics. So I get to it. Your pics. I'm gonna email you right now.
And follow me for my cringy memes on my story because I no longer post. I actually do want to get back into modeling though. I've been saying that though.
Let's do it.
do
The best days today. These I'm sorry, right? You say so?
Yeah, definitely.
Right now. Take a picture right
Do
now.
it.
Yeah.
Do it. So many people I know who are like, oh, like, I don't like pictures of myself, and I love taking pictures of people too. Not like, I don't have a nice camera, nice setup, but like, I'll take pictures of you all the time, like, off guard, and then I'll show people, I'm like, look at these. Like, you look good. Like, literally, my friends will be like sitting on my couch, like, doing something, I'll be like, don't move. And I'm like, like, they look good. And they always end up liking it, so I'm like, damn, like, see, you know,
Hey.
showing you from a third point of view.
Go as a
that, like, you're
full-time photographer.
amazing.
You can be competing with this right now.
Yeah. I'm very competitive on photography. Just so if I think you trash, I'm like, yo, you're trash. I'm making it better.
And if he has a couple shots, he'll definitely tell you for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to help your time anymore. Your time's valuable. You're studying for your MIC. No. MCAT. MCAT.
Yes,
Like-
MCAT.
Cat.
MCAT.
With
Yeah,
a T.
MCAT. Yeah.
T's and Tom.
Yeah, MCAT. You're studying for your MCAT. I don't want to hold you up anymore. You've already been a delight, and I do appreciate you tremendously. But if you watched live, I think only Gianna did. Which,
Hey, listen.
shouts to the girl, Gianna. We thank
Gianna,
you.
so stugging.
Appreciate you. But if you watch afterwards, you know,
We appreciate it
we appreciate it
regardless.
as well. I know you've not posted anything at all, so on YouTube specifically, you need to be consistent on YouTube.
Very
too.
much so, especially now in this space, which is very saturated.
Yeah.
It's becoming even more saturated.
It is.
today.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe.
Turn the notifications on.
Turn notifications when we go live. You can see us live. Say hello. And if y'all want to drop questions to our live guests, like Victoria, which no one did, but if you do, you know, you can ask live. Anyways, I'm done babbling. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And
Just take care of yourself.
take care of yourself. Stay safe, please. That's all I ask for.
All right, y'all.
We is out. Go. There we go. We're out now.
My ears.